terms of the reasons, the costs or the problems that happen when you die without a plan. What are you more worried about?
All the above.
She said all the above, Mister. You're right though, right? All of these are problems that happen in our community every single day. All right. These are some of the myths that prevent us as a community and in our families from getting a plan in place. The first one, are you trying to kill me? The implication there is that if we talk about death, it's going to cause it to happen. Right? It sounds silly when I say it out loud, but how many of us think that and act on it? So we don't want to talk about it, we don't want to plan for it, because we don't want to bring our death closer to us or before it's time. Right? But whether you talk about it or not, what's going to happen? Destiny comes nonetheless, right? All right. Number 2 is for old people. This is an old people thing. So only old people need to worry about an estate plan. Correct? Because young people don't die before their parents.
Okay.
Right? Enough said.
Okay.
December, a young man, 43 years old, my age, walking on Veterans Drive boardwalk. Car came around the waterfront speeding and mowed him down. Left young children, and a wife as a widow. The driver also left wife and children. All of them were very young, my age. This is not a old people thing. All of us need a plan yesterday, not tomorrow, or the day after, or when I get to it, or when I'm not busy. All right? We good? Busyness and procrastination are the biggest reasons why we die without plans in place. We are too busy minding other people's business. Am I wrong? We know everything about Trump. We know everything about politics. We know everything about pop culture. P. Diddy, Kardashian, everybody, right? But we ain't minding our business. All right. The third one, me ain't got an estate, meaning I'm not rich enough to have an estate plan. But all of us put our hands up as we had things to protect. We had people to protect. Especially if you have property here in the territory, must protect it. If not, we're going to be constantly, raising issues of gentrification and people coming and taking what's ours, but we didn't value it enough to protect it. Right? All right, good. The fourth one, lay to my son. You like how my little twang is bringing it? Meaning, I'm going to put the snooze button on this decision, right, indefinitely until it's time for me to get my estate plan in place. But as my grandmother said, you don't have time put down. You have time put down? Right? Am I good? Mm-hmm. All right. Now here's the reason. Here's why this is so devastating in our community. When we don't plan, this is what happens. 90% of us don't have an estate plan in place. If you go into any room and you say, how many of us have a will, trust, and stuff like that, maybe one or two hands might go up, if that, right? The vast majority of us don't have a plan. Now, that has resulted in there being about 4 years of backlog in the probate courts today, right? Meaning, the amount of cases that go through the probate courts are these bars right here. These are the amount of cases that come in and the amount of cases that go out. But the red line is the backlog. Look at the backlog.
Wow.
4 times the caseload that they're able to handle. So if you go and put yourself and your family at the back of this line, because of lack of planning and because of hearing this beautiful speech and taking no action, you're putting your family in that situation. The same expensive, the same time consuming, the same loss and squandering that we don't want to happen, we'll be forcing our families into that. Right? But there are some legitimate reasons why we don't get an estate plan. The first one is knowledge. I didn't know to do it, so I didn't do it. Right? Well, that's understandable. So So that's why your PTA leadership is informing you so that you can do better for your families, right? The second one is these services can be quite expensive. But if according to the conventional approach, our approach allows for the everyday family to get their estate plan in place in a way that is affordable, including some very flexible installment plans that bring your payments down to less than, in one case, $125 a month. In another case, our most sophisticated tool is $195 a month. So something that the everyday family can get in place. Right. The third important document is called Power of Attorney. All right? Third.
3.
Yes. The first one was will, the second one was trust, the third one is power of attorney. Power of attorney says, you know, we're not always going to be able to do everything that we could do today. We're not always going to be able to do transactions. Sometimes you could be, because of your old age, because of illness, because of sickness, because of a mental incapacity like dementia or Alzheimer's. All these things could stop you from not being able to handle your own business, right? And in a situation like that, you want to, in advance, position someone that you trust to be able to handle those things for you. Because even though you might not be able to do it yourself, checks still need to be written, insurance still needs to be renewed, someone still needs to deal with GRS or Social Security, and you know what I mean? And so as a result, we need to put that in place. If you don't put it in place, like what happened to one of our prospective customers that came to us earlier this week. Their dad is mentally incapacitated. He's gone into a surgery and they now want a power of attorney. Well, if the person is already mentally incapacitated, they cannot write contracts.
Right.
They're not legally competent to write a contract. So what do we have to do? We have to get guardianship over that individual in order to write contracts for them, right? Now, guardianship costs at least $3,000 as a minimum, right? And it could take 3 to 6 months in the courts. So all the decisions that you needed to make on behalf of your dad, who's in this compromised position now, are now in limbo because we didn't in advance create a power of attorney, right? All of these things, we're moving to a more proactive way of planning for our families rather than reacting to very, very difficult situations where you don't have many good options, right? The fourth, advanced medical directives. These are healthcare instructions if you can't speak for yourself. So imagine you went to John Hopkins Hospital or Schneider, Juan Louis. The first thing the doctors are going to ask you when you show up there is, what are our rules that we need to follow? What are your instructions, right?